What's up, power fans and YouTube? It's your boy Nino and I'm back with another power video. Raising Kanan final season is here, and in this video I'll be talking about Lou's death based on the trailer and the happenings in the last episode of season 3. I'm going to match all the scenes for you to get clear understanding of whether or not Lou will die and who is likely to kill him. So get some snacks and let's take a ride. And before you buckle up, I want you to know that Kanan shot Lou, so you might want to tighten up your seatbelt for this. And of course, if you are new to my channel, you are welcome. My name is Nino. Kindly hit the subscribe button if you are new, like and comment on this video below. Now let's jump straight into our breakdown. Now, before I go deep into the season 5 thriller, I believe the first episode is going to reference the last episode of the last season, which is season 4, especially where Kanan was pointing gun at his mother. If you have been following my breakdowns, I did a full analysis on the fact that Kanan didn't shoot Raquel, but rather shot someone who was coming from Raquel's back. So seeing Raquel in the final season's trailer already confirms my last breakdown. Now I'll be talking about who was possibly coming from the outside that made Kanan retargeted the person instead of his mother, who was right in front of him. So before we analyze this scene, let's move slightly back to another scene before this one. Now, because Kanan's head has been twisted that his mother was the one killing people close to him, he finally decided to kill his mother after Garcia approached him with the news about Crystal. Now, what even made Kanan believe so strongly that it was Raquel is the fact that they said they saw a black woman coming out of the place, hence, in his mind, it was Raquel. Now, Kanan, after back and forth with Jukebox, he leaves his room with anger and convictions to go and kill Raquel. Jukebox, knowing Kanan was really going to try killing his mother, she made a call to someone, and this suggests that she was calling someone who can talk to Kanan or stop him from what he was about to do. We haven't seen the receiver of this call, but here is the twist. If you ask me, Marvin won't be her first point of call, but rather Uncle Lou, because if she had called her father, we wouldn't have seen him in the next scene walking leisurely to the shop at the gas station before the drive-by on him happened. He would have been speeding to locate his sister. So in this case, we are left with one person Juke could have been calling, and that is Lou. Now in the trailer, we saw Uncle Lou just about twice or so. One, he seems to be jumping to a tune in his studio, and like I said earlier on, we might get a flashback from the last episode of the last season. If this happens, I can only assume that this was the time Juke was calling Uncle Lou, and we will get to see what he was doing before the call came through from Juke and his reaction. Then maybe Lou tried reaching Raquel on the phone, but then her number was busy because she was on the phone talking to someone else, which I assume is a business partner because the nature of the call doesn't sound as though she was talking to one of her siblings. Uncle Lou then rushed to her house. Coming from the back door, he was the one Kanan might have seen and re-aimed at the person thinking he was an imposter. He then shoots instantly, killing his own uncle without knowing. And if you listen to the music used for this trailer and the first voiceover which says, "If you don't hate me before, then you will hate me now," it all gives some context to Kanan making a terrible mistake that will make us dislike his character. The irony will be that he was there to kill his mother but ended up killing his beloved uncle. This, I'm sure, might be the reason why we see Raquel crying her heart out here like that. And from the trailer, there will be a funeral, and that could possibly be Uncle Lou. Now, why am I sure Kanan shot someone regrettably? If you look at the last scene of the last episode of season 4, this is what Kanan was wearing, and in the season 5 trailer here too, we see him wearing the same costume at Raquel's house. Now, the look on his face alone suggests elements of shock, regret, and confusion because he just made a big mistake. I'm saying this because when Kanan messes up and he realizes it instantly, this is the kind of look he normally gives. So I am very sure he shot at someone mistakenly and froze. So Kanan will be misunderstood just like the music that was used. Marvin will be extremely angry at Kanan, hence chasing him to his crib and giving him the highest beating of his life. Honestly, I can't wait to see how Marvin will dirty Kanan. For a long time, he has been telling Raquel that Kanan needs the belt. So as the final season, I think it is just fair to give Marvin the opportunity to beat the silly out of Kanan. Now, someone will say, oh, it's not Lou. Lou cannot die. But you know what? Sending all these characters into Power Origin is going to be a hell of a thing. And you know, they have to make sure that they subtract a lot of characters out of this to be able to make way for a good storyline in Power Origin. So the likelihood of people dying in this season is extremely high. Now, let's talk about the graveyard. I see a lot of comments concerning this graveyard. Now, in the trailer, we see that Raquel is at her mom's grave and possibly talking to herself about how she has failed with Kanan. You know, in season 4, before Raquel put her mother to rest, she told her to take good care of Kanan. I am sure she's at the graveyard soliloquizing about how she and Kanan are going at each other as the biggest enemies. And I believe this will be a huge moment of reflection for Raquel, considering how she used to be bitter with her mother as well. Now, I said it's her mother's grave because if you look closely at season 4 episode 10, where Kanan visited his grandmother's grave, and where Raquel is standing in season 5 trailer, you'll notice that both are standing around the same spot, which suggests that it was Raquel's mother's grave spot. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. In this season 5, we will see the introduction of chess games by Breeze and how he was going to use it to plan his moves. They will also show us the vile side of Breeze and how dangerous he can also be, so that Kanan will have a fair idea of who he is dealing with moving forward. Now, here is how I think Raquel's fate might end. I know most of you are with the view that Raquel will die and so forth, but from Raquel's character, she has come extremely close to death, not once, not twice. So for the writer to still want to write her out with death, I think it's just too much of cliche. The closest she came was Kanan, and that one didn't also happen. So clearly, Raquel has to go out in a different way, and that is prison. She just needs to be set up for prison and possibly for life. Now, if you remember, Ghost once told Tasha that there are only 2 ways out of the game. It's either you die or you end up in jail. So for me, my expectation is for Raquel to go inside for life, and that will clear the tough path for Kanan and Breeze to have full control. Now, with regards to Jukebox will definitely leave town after the downfall of the Thomas family. I don't want to sound like a prophet of doom, but I believe Marvin will die thanks to Kanan. And I strongly believe this is what will create the big fight between Kanan and Jukebox, where she sliced his neck that gave him that long mark we saw in the original Power. And I also feel Jukebox's decision to join the police force might be to want to antagonize Kanan later in his dealings with Breeze. But let me know what you also think in the comment section below. Now, there is an interesting thing I want us to keep in mind moving into this final season. Now, let's keep in mind that Raquel's lawyer once told her about the Fed's offer for her to snitch on Stefano, and that offer is still a usable piece. I don't know how this is going to happen, but that was a very significant line that seems to have been forgotten, and it is one piece she can use when the walls are closing on her, and who knows, maybe she might use that to go into WITSEC. And like the saying goes, once a rat is always a rat. But let me know what you also think in the comment section below. Now, if Lou dies, this will bring a whole twist to Vanessa, because in the last episode of the last season, Lou kidnapped Vanessa and Jerome, but we don't know how or where he is keeping them or what he did to them. A typical Lou could scare her off or tell her things that will make her not to look back, because already she noticed changes in Unique's second coming. So it is possible that Lou told her to leave and go far away and start a new life. An approach as though he was giving her a second chance. But based on the trailer, we'll see Vanessa back to Unique. And also, let me leave you with one other clue. I also believe in this season, any sexual affair Kanan will have might be the pregnancy journey of his son, Sean. But let me know what you also think in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, leave your comment, like and share. Catch you in my next video. It's your boy Nino. Thanks for watching.